Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Tera Harmila. Okay, in this video, I will review my previous video about SSD storage media. What are SSDs? SSD stand for Solid State Drive or Solid State Disk. Is a data storage device that uses a series of ICs as memory that is used to store data or information. SSD device embed a silicon-based memory chip as a storage medium for writing and reading persistent data. The beginning of the emergence of SSD. SSDs first appeared in the 50s and were used in the first generation of tube computers and lost their prestige around the 60s. In the 70s and 80s, SSD resurfaced and became quite expensive. And in 2003, Transit introduced cheap flash SSD with ATA or PATA connectors. Finally, in 2006, Samsung marketed SSDs on a large scale. The SSD capacity offered by Samsung at that time was 32 GB with PATA interface. In late 2012, enterprise SSD such as the Intel DC S3700 appeared. SSD size. The SSD available now is 2.5 inches. That means this SSD is only intended for laptop use. For standard notebooks, SSD are available in 5mm and 7mm heights. By comparison, hard drives are available in standard 7mm and 9.5mm design. SSD which SSD is lighter than hard disk drive. The use of different technologies between digital platters and NAND flash greatly affects the weight of the hardware. The average hard disk drive weighs 780 grams, while the SSD weighs 100 grams. SSD capacity. For a capacity of 128 to 256 GB, enough for OS or system storage. For a capacity of more than 512 GB to store game data. For a capacity of 1 TB or more for content creators and social media. SSD durability. SSD looks more durable only because of its solid-state design. With no moving parts, SSDs can withstand impacts, drops, and higher temperature extremes. SSD price and base material. SSD is sold at a price that is still expensive per gigabyte. The high price of SSDs can reach 9 times when compared to hard disk drive. At the system level, low-capacity SSD can be reached in the 32 GB to 64 GB range. However, high-capacity SSDs are very expensive, especially when measured on a cost per gigabyte basis. For a capacity of 500 GB with a price range of 1 to 3 million depending on the brand of the SSDs. SSD-based materials are silicon, copper, insulation, and others. Difference between SSD and hard disk drive. SSD data read or write speed range from 200 to 500 MB per second. To open files, SSD are capable of 30% faster than hard disk drive, and for SSD boot speed, it only takes 10 to 13 seconds. The speed of reading for writing hard disk drive data is only around 50 to 120 MB per second. To open a file, the hard disk drive takes 30 to 40 seconds to boot. Types of SSD. Number 1. SATA, the first generation of SSDs. The speed is about 600 MB per second and is suitable for notebooks and PCs. Number 2. NVMe. Extended speed can be up to 2600 MB per second, suitable for business that prioritize high data processing. Number 3. PCI connector, typically used with NVMe for enterprise class work. Number 4. M.2 card, an expansion card that is installed on the motherboard internally. Okay, that's a video from me about SSD storage media. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.